Hello, everyone, and welcome to Mental Health Talks with Yoga Bloody Yoga. I am your host, Esther, and today we will be talking with Brian Bent, a world-renowned artist, musician, skater, surfer, car builder, the list goes on, and I'm lucky enough to call him my dad. He's going to be our first guest on Mental Health Talks for the March episode, recording from the comfort of his home, so if you hear a little dog in the background, that's why. Enjoy!
Right.
Am I your first one?
You're my first one.
Oh, okay.
How appropriate that my father is the very first musician that I interview.
Yes.
Thank you for being on the Mental Health Talks with me, your host, Esther. And who are you?
I'm Brian Bent.
Yes. Brian Bent of
The
Bent Duo, Ragged Old Sailor, The Pioneers.
Ride to Glory.
The list goes on.
All the
right?
list goes on.
So my first question that I wanted to ask you is, what band do you think is the most metal?
Judas Priest.
All right, why?
Because when MTV came out and You Got Another Thing Coming was there, and I was totally into the Stray Cats, and it was you were into almost every band that you kind of liked on MTV because it was so new. But I remember they came on, the singer had really short blonde hair and everybody else had long hair. And I thought it was kind of punk in a way, but they just had that guitar sound. I mean, they just came on like this sweet, I was listening to the sweet fan radio or whatever on Pandora, and they came on and they just have a good sound. So I associated that. I didn't really get into the super metal of the 80s era.
Well, I mean, Judas Priest is pretty darn metal. So.
Yeah, and I really liked Black Sabbath, Paranoid, even though my father, even in the 70s, said don't listen to that band.
We've grown since then. The fact that you even said you liked it.
And I still have War Pigs permanently in my head.
Oh my gosh.
So those two bands.
I just need everybody to know who's listening. The fact that my dad just said he likes Black Sabbath with me is the best.
I don't listen to them anymore,
but they're pretty metal.
And I loved how Ozzy would strut around in his leather pants with no shirt on, and he kind of had a belly during his Ozzy time. I never thought that they had off anything or no, but I mean, you got to call it what it is. And I remember seeing like other Headbangers Ball and all that stuff. I really nothing that I heard like to me compared to that song.
I mean,
Judas Priest.
Yeah.
Even I was watching the young one.
Which one by Judas Priest?
You got another thing coming.
Oh yeah.
When he goes, wow, and then the guy explodes.
In the music video?
Yeah.
Like MTV?
Yeah, totally.
Yep.
I mean, that's how you got introduced to so many bands, just like Motorhead was introduced with the young ones, and I was watching that episode at that time when they came on. And it still blows my mind. There's still no other band like them, Motorhead. Just the way they kind of look like the only thing I could think of at that time was they were kind of really weird, like 50s chopper, but with long hair. And I don't know.
Yeah. They're kind of, they go in between metal and punk and rock.
Well, Alice Cooper, of course. I always thought Alice Cooper was kind of metalish too, but
for sure.
But he had a very sweet voice to him too, which even made him very dynamic. So
yeah, anyway, metal. That's the fun part. I think about what I'm excited for with this podcast is metal is so many different categories from now I would say metal has changed a lot throughout the years. So
yeah, because that's true. Because like Led Zeppelin, you thought was like metal, but really they were more sweet sound. They rocked. That was more rock.
Yeah.
So metal,
and technically, like Black Sabbath, this stuff is a lot of rock, but they're like the godfathers of metal or whatever. But I mean, Quiet Riot came out with Metal Health, which is like what inspired.
That's when I was in high school, and all the rockers had all the Iron Maiden shirts and all that stuff.
But who do you think coined heavy metal? First band ever. I've never looked this up.
I think it was Led Zeppelin.
Really? Let me see.
I don't know. There was so many bands, UFO and
band
all those
first
70s bands.
coined heavy metal? The phrase heavy metal first appeared in music literature around 1970, with origins often attributed to writer Sandy Pearlman or Lester Bangs.
Oh.
And
I don't even know who those guys are.
everybody's saying
Well,
Black
Led
Sabbath,
Zeppelin was...
but yeah, Led Zeppelin, Cream, Vanilla Fudge, Deep Purple.
Yeah. I used to have a recurring nightmare about Deep Purple. Because Grandma Shirley Machine had the album, and I would always have that in my head. Smoke on the Water, all that stuff, you know. I still thought that was rock and roll, not really heavy metal. So
which one?
Like Deep Purple.
Oh, yeah.
And Cream, like
that. Yeah, they're like hard rock.
Yeah, like metal is like, you know, like
that sludgy.
Yeah, and I know
distorted guitar and bass.
Yeah, and I know that there's a ton of early 70s bands that would probably be considered metal as well. I mean, it's bands that we don't even know, but
well, you introduced me to what is it? Wait, how do you say it?
Robin Trower.
Robin Trower.
Robin Trower, I always thought that was that's probably the heaviest music, because you couldn't really play that on the radio, except for there was a few songs, but a couple of his songs were slow and heavy, and they had that pedal that he used to use. But there's just so many bands out there. But for me personally, I always associated like Judas Priest as being the best like metal band.
I have to agree with you on that one. They're the best. And with the chopper on stage and all that, I mean, it's so cool. So the whole point of Metal Health Talks is talking about the most metal thing in the world, I think, which is being healthy in the music industry and still loving heavy music. So I wanted to just kind of talk to you about what are the things that you really love doing that you think keeps you healthy.
Well, I mean, I skate and I surf and we play music, and I tap dance. Just kidding.
Bucky tap dances.
Yeah.
They got the dog howling in the background.
I think good music brings tears. If music, especially if you're like worn out or dealing with something, if music strikes a note that brings like tears to your eyes, I think that's healthy, because the emotion is coming through, and you know the Lord wants us to be honest with our emotions. And I just think the older I get, and I hear, what song was it? A couple of days ago I heard, and it was just so good that it brings like tears to your eyes.
What song was it?
Gosh, what song was that? I can't think of it now, but it was really good, and it was undeniably.
Were you painting when it?
No, I was actually cleaning out, helping my buddy pack all his tools because he's moving to Alabama.
Oh yeah.
So it was one of those songs that came on, and it's just so good, but I can't remember which one it was.
That's okay. If it
there's
comes,
a ton of them like that.
If it comes to mind, I'm sure just you can blurt it out.
Yeah.
And I mean, I guess I should introduce you to the world of listeners of this podcast. You know, I know you very well, but you are an artist, musician, skateboarder, surfer, car builder, minister. Well, I mean, minister at the past, but loving and godly man. But
I still have a temper on me.
Oh well, you're
just
human,
kidding.
right?
Yeah, just kidding.
So,
not just kidding.
When you're skating, what are the songs that you feel like, not necessarily saying you're putting these songs on, but like if you're out at the skate park and somebody's got music going, or you're at a contest or something, what's like a metal?
Rush, right? Oh,
Rush. Oh yeah, Rush is totally metal.
The first album by Rush is my favorite album to skate to.
Yeah.
Especially Working Man, and especially there's a couple of them on there, but they're just good. They're all good. that's a brilliant, incredible album, actually. And then when our buddy
Yeah.
we used to go to the Pump Track, and we listened to UFO.
Oh, yeah.
1974 with the German guitar player or whatever. And he would go off on these journeys with his guitar. and to me, that was the most flowing music to skate, the Pump Track to, because it's kind of takes you on a journey and stuff.
Yeah.
And then in the 70s, all the older guys than me all listened to Aerosmith. So Aerosmith,
And they're pretty rocking.
oh, they were beyond. I can't even listen to them because they still there's just certain bands I don't go back to because they're just too radical. But Toys in the Attic and Rocks, those two albums, and all the guys, probably, I'm 60, they're probably 64, 65, like Tony Alva's age and stuff even,
Mm-hmm.
They're like, dude, back in the saddle, dude, you can hear the horse go, wah, I mean, it's just, they were so good. So that was another band that, I don't know if they're heavy metal, they're kind of more rock to me, but.
Well, I mean, I feel like, honestly, there's, like I said, like the metal genre is so vast that it's kind of like, I don't know, in my humble opinion, anything that's metal is something that you want to headbang to. that's what I think heavy metal is. Super heavy guitar, heavy bass. But I mean, there's just so much out there.
There is. Like, I never listened to like Anthrax and all that band because I was into oldies more than I was when those guys came out. I mean, Metallica.
Yeah.
I remember when they came out, and they were way heavy.
Oh my gosh, yeah. And Metallica, I mean, when you say name 3 metal bands, usually people will say Metallica, Judas Priest, and Black Sabbath, I'd say.
Yeah.
But,
and then you have AC/DC.
And then AC/DC, which
Back
is
in
that
Black.
Same Motorhead
and
conundrum,
AC/DC.
Because Motorhead and AC/DC both.
And then before that, you go into who was I listening to in the 70s that, well, it was Led Zeppelin, but there was I can't remember, but Pink Floyd, I mean, they're not really metal, but what do you call them?
Well, there's certain, like, even Bowie songs that have riffs that are metal. That's the thing. Like, it's funny. I think you have your purists, and then you have your rockers, and then you have your newer metal, which is seriously, like, I feel like a whole different category.
Well, metal also, I don't know if you know this, but I don't know, I'm not a tech on it, but when like metal in the 80s, upper 80s into the 90s got so technical that it like passed me right on by.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing, I'm not putting it down. I'm just saying it got super technical, and as technical as I got was listening to Van Halen,
Yeah.
like,
well, and yeah, I mean, I think,
da 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 da, like
yeah.
who's
really got
one
me
of the
covered?
gnarlier guitar players than Eddie Van Halen, honestly.
And then, I mean, they're technically hard rock metal category shifting too. It's really interesting. But going back to what we were talking about, like what kind of music stokes you out.
Oh, and the health of it all. Well, it definitely put you on a high end of life. The thing that destroyed people is when they got too high and too drunk.
Yeah.
And that's what happens. I mean, the Cult.
Oh.
When the Cult came out, oh my gosh.
The band?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was so gnarly. Those guys were so gnarly.
Yeah.
And they fueled your fire, and you had to be careful because if you were drunk and you have that power of that music and get really in trouble, you got to really be careful, honestly.
And you have had a really amazing, I mean, honestly, a lot of listeners are, weighing if they need to go sober or not. So I think the fact that you haven't touched alcohol, being as deep in the music industry as you have been. And
well, not only that, but I deal with OCD and mental stuff in my head. And it's all fear-based. And the biggest scripture is the Lord doesn't give you the spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. And when you come off that stuff, you're lonely, you're afraid, you're super afraid, and then you have to face your stuff. And if you don't have the strength to face yourself, and if you don't reach out to somebody, then it'll suck you back in, and you'll say, oh, what the hell, and you'll just go back. And so it's a vicious circle, even when you're sober. So yeah, so I mean, I can really, at 60, I can really enjoy
60. Just kidding.
60.
I'm 30.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's happening?
I don't know. But I mean, if you,
I just think it's super encouraging to so many people, and I want to share this part of your story though, is that like you have been able to do everything with stoke and playing heavy music without getting, essentially dragged down, and you have really maintained a healthy life.
Well, I've made mistakes on going too deep and, in certain music before you were born. I look at it as ugly now, because you start being so self-absorbed and self-conceited and this and that, then you just kind of get in this structure. So now, like I mean, things make me mad or something. If somebody honks at me, I still have a pet peeve about that. But
well, you're driving a 1962 Mercury when someone's coming up to you with a self-driving Tesla, so that could be
any Teslas are just fast, but people that honk because they're impatient, that's my biggest pet peeve. Like, I mean, even when you were little and we had that, well, we still have a 56 Ford, but we broke down in the rain in Oceanside. You're in a car seat, your brother's right next to you, your mom's right there, and then this guy's honking at me, and the car died. And I get out of the car. Don't even get out of the car, because I got out of the car and I'm like, we're, broken down. Because that's just one, because if you touch somebody or if you mess with somebody, you're going to jail or you're going to be in a world of hurt. And so that's my thing. I try not to even get out of the car but that's all. So then
that's past stuff.
Well, not only that though, but you're talking about music, and the music makes you feel good when you're, I mean, I don't listen to certain lyrics of stuff that would cause me to get, on the angry side.
Yeah. But you can still rock out and get inspired and stoked without, having to do destructive things.
Right.
Because a lot of the metal, I would say, fear of heavy metal is that it's from a place of darkness, which, you got to be careful, because in any band, there can be some things that are kind of gnarly. But in terms of wanting to live a happy, healthy life, you've got to have discernment in what you listen to. And
and certain, like, certain punk bands I won't listen to, because that really fuels fire,
Yeah. What would you say in the music that you make has been like the biggest inspiration or influence for
I make?
Yeah. That we make, I should say, because we're in a band together.
Well, I think it's amazing this music that we come up with, because it's unscripted. It's almost like jazz. It's actually one of the funnest bands I've ever been in. I mean, usually I'm always looking for a sound in rockabilly or in old. You're always trying to emulate the past, but the band duo was always that came just because of your drumming and my just playing. And we just, like when we roller skate at the skate park, at the roller rink when you're little, we just have that whatever it is, positive, or that
the natural flow.
Right. Yeah. And we share that same spark or that same intensity, I guess, and same brain.
Yes.
You got my brain, not mom's brain.
I know, definitely.
And then you got my blood dad's brain, and you got my mom's brain, and you got granny's brain, and you got Uncle John's brain, and so we got it on both sides.
We got the artistic gypsy brain that has its ups and downs, but
Scottish.
we're Scottish now?
Well, we're
Scottish.
No, my blood dad considered himself 100% Viking.
Oh,
so Scandinavian.
Yeah.
I even have Viking hand, and my guitar playing hand. I mean, my chord hand. We got action packed.
Action-packed, yes.
Yeah. 35 music of external combustion.
35 minutes.
Oh, yeah. What did I say?
You said 35 music.
Oh, 30. Yeah.
35 minutes of external
Bucky,
combustion.
take it easy, buddy.
Hey.
Jeez.
Dude. Buck.
Where's Mom at?
I think he's barking at her because she's out here.
Oh.
Here, you want your food? So, now we talked about who you think is metal, your music influences, what you do to feel healthy and happy.
Mm-hmm.
I think my last question to wrap this up is, what would be your favorite kind of day? Like, man, that was I need a day of healthiness and happiness. What would you do? What would your day look like?
Well, I'd ask your mom if she wanted to go get a coffee with me. And then I love when she goes to the skate park with me or to surfing. And I'd have my music playing and...
Yeah, that's it. Coffee, hanging out with Mom, and music.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds pretty good.
And of course, art. I'm an artist, so that's what I do in my studio. And that is an intense thing within itself, with the expressionistic art and the colors and everything that goes along with that when you're putting everything into your art. Music, I don't get that struggle with, because I think I'm more an artist than a musician. We do play.
You think so?
Yeah, for me.
Oh.
But well, just because it's something that's how I've made a living.
Yeah.
I mean, we've made a living doing music.
Yeah.
But that's my thing. So in a sense, like, I love to paint. And then when I take a break, I love to skate or surf or, listen to music and stuff. And as you get older, as I get older, I break it down into 70s, 80s, not too much 90s because I didn't really, but it's usually 70s or 80s of music genres, so. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't really listen to too much newer stuff.
No, I don't listen to anything.
Because I was going to ask you, what's a modern band that you think is pretty metal? But
yeah, I don't know. I don't listen to anything new. I mean, I was listening to my mother's albums. She had an incredible album collection.
Yeah.
And I would listen to Hendrix,
Which, do you think Hendrix is metal? Because that's been...
No, I don't think. It's like art music.
That's more like psych rock?
I don't know. No, he's... Blues, but no, he's not metal.
Yeah.
He's like psychedelic, or he's psychedelic folk, like blues or something, I think.
Yeah.
Or art music. I don't know. He never sat there and went, chugga, 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 Not that I know anyway.
Right.
I mean, Stevie Ray Vaughan would be more metal than Hendrix would.
You think so?
Yeah, because he made it more he gave it more of a chunk, 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 that Texas or whatever style.
Yeah.
Emulating
the chugging.
Yeah, that chunk, chunk, which, isn't really metal either. But.
Well, what song of Bent Duos do you think is the most metal off of our one album that's released?
Our one album, Quo?
Yeah.
We can do Emma Victoria's.
Yeah, that one's pretty rocking.
The one, yeah.
And do you have any art shows or... well, I don't think we have any music shows coming up right now, but
art shows. I'm painting for England, the Drang Gallery, which is a pretty good-sized gallery in England and London, and I'm painting for them. We just kind of ended a few shows, and art. We have things planned. I want to do a big painting show coming up towards the summer in a big vacant kind of stand-up wall kind of what do they call that? Yeah.
Where?
And then, I don't know. I haven't figured it out. I paint for galleries, but I'm not. But this one is going to be different, to where it's going to be just big cement walls, with art on them.
Oh, cool.
And then surf shacks. I mean, we've got stuff that put out those books. They're going to be doing. We're going to be part of that in Ventura. like part of
What's
their
Surf Shacks?
it's kind of like it's a book of all these surf interiors and stuff, and they're putting together this. Mom knows more than I do.
Oh, okay.
I'm really like
That's okay.
there's so many things coming.
I know, huh?
But I
it's
just
hard
don't
to keep track of it.
Yeah, so I'm just painting and we have a book coming out, on the board.
That's true. That's very exciting for this. Do you think it'll be released this year?
Yeah. Hopefully it could.
That'd be awesome.
And then also we have you and I might play the Hope and Anchor Bar in London.
That would be
where all
very
the
cool.
punk gig there, which that would be really cool. That Nick Clements is putting together. Yeah. So.
Well, cool. Thank you, Dad.
Yeah.
Mr. Brian Bent here as the very first inaugural Mental Health Talks.
Yeah.
Did you ever watch Wayne's World?
No.
No? Oh, well, never mind.
I didn't even watch the one Turn It to 11 or whatever. And
So you never watched Spinal Tap?
No.
Oh, man.
No, I kind of like stopped watching movies in from like when I got out of the 70s, back in those horrifying horror movies and zombie movies and
not your style.
No, so I started watching old movies from the 50s and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Well, thank you. Thank you for your time.
You're welcome. I hope it's a success of this podcast for you.
We'll bring you back on for the inaugural 5-episode anniversary. Just kidding. You'll be our guest every week. Well, thank you. And for those of you listening, this has been Mental Health Talks with Brian Bent of the Bent Duo. No, yours is more metal than mine. Yeah, do your best metal hair flare.
That was it.
Oh. Well, alrighty then. Much better than mine.
Thank you all so much for listening to Mental Health Talks. We've been with Brian Bent, hailing from Orange County. I'm your host, Esther. Next month, we will be talking with April from April Kind of Rocks. She specializes in metal yoga, hailing from Portland, Oregon. And I'm really excited to get to talk to her about her music inspirations and how it relates to a healthy lifestyle and teaching yoga. If you liked what you heard and you want to continue following along in this journey, you can go ahead and follow us on Spotify or Instagram. Check out the website, it's Yoga Bloody Yoga. And if you want to donate to the cause, I have a Ko-fi link in the description. Your donations mean the world, and they help me bring you more content, more entertainment, and higher quality audio. So thank you all so much for listening. We'll see you on the next Mental Health Talks. Bye.